Alright, you listen here, and you listen here real closely. It's winter time, and what do people drink in the winter? They drink hot chocolate. And the holidays just passed. What do people make during the holidays? They make cookies. You can bind them together, hot chocolate cookies. Let's get cooking. Alright, so starting off, we're adding 1 stick or 1/2 cup of butter into a pan on a medium heat. Now the goal here is to melt this butter all the way, but once it's melted, we're not going to remove it from the heat. We're going to continue to cook it and brown this butter. So what you see here is that the butter has foamed up a lot, and that is okay. That is what we are looking for. Keep shaking that pan. Now browning butter is when the milk solids separate from the butter fat within the butter itself and fall to the bottom of the pan. And what we're looking for is to caramelize those milk solids. So on the screen here is a perfect example. You can see that layer of butter fat on top, and that amber color, that's the milk solids. They are caramelizing as we speak here on screen. Now when you brown butter, there's this almost nutty vanilla caramel aroma that's released inside of the butter, and it's just a flavor to die for. And the shot right here, you can see that amber golden brown goodness coming up through the butter. Oh, it's just amazing. So once you have reached this golden brown color, it's very important to remove this butter off the heat. Otherwise, you're going to risk burning it, and no one likes burnt butter. I will tell you, it is disgusting. So once removed from the heat, we're going to pour it into a heat-safe container and stick it in the fridge for 45 minutes just to let it firm up. And don't forget to get all those milk solids in the bottom. That is where all your flavor is located. Now the next step is to add 1 1/2 cup of mini marshmallows into a separate pan, and we're going to put these into the freezer. I'll explain more about that in a little bit. Alright, let's make some dough. Into a bowl goes 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. Then we're going to add a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, followed by 2 teaspoons of baking soda. After the baking soda, we're adding in a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, and then 1 packet of your favorite hot cocoa mix. I'm using Swiss Mix because it's just the best. Alright, then you're going to follow it up with a little whiskey business just to mix it up. Alright, so into the bowl of a stand mixer. Yes, I bought this for myself. Merry Christmas to me. We're adding a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, followed by a 1/2 cup of granulated white sugar. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull that brown butter out of the refrigerator. Now I recommend pulling this out at least 15 minutes just so it can soften up slightly. We're going to add that into the mixing bowl. Again, very important that you get all those milk solid bits from the bottom. That's where all your flavor is located, alright? Very, very, very important. They're going to follow it up with a 1/4 cup of coconut oil. That stuff was really expensive. $15 for a small jar? What the heck? Turning the mixer on to a medium speed, we're going to let it mix together for 2 minutes. The mixture should be nice, light, and fluffy. Then add in 1 egg and mix to combine. About 30 seconds. That's all you really need. Into that mixer goes a 1/4 cup of honey. And again, mix till well combined. Alright, so on a low speed, we're going to slowly start adding in our dry ingredients. I broke this down into 3 separate times adding it, just so I didn't overcrowd the mixer. So then onto some cookie trays that have seen better days. We're just going to hit them with a nice piece of parchment paper. So as you can see here, I did slightly trim down that parchment paper because as much as I hate my tiny 600 square foot apartment, it's the only place I have to live, so burning it down really just is not an option. But as you can see here, I did bring out an extra 1/4 cup of sugar. This is going to be for just rolling the cookie dough in towards the finishing process. And then here's the marshmallows that we pulled out of the freezer. So now why did we freeze the marshmallows? Now the goal here was to drop that internal temperature of the marshmallow so that makes it a little more heat resistant. We're going to be stuffing these on the inside of the cookie, so that way when the cookie cracks, it shows through. And because it's showing through, we do not want it to actually melt because sugar melts over heat. Okay, it's cookie time. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my handy dandy little scooper that I got from Walmart, scooping it into a ball. I'm going to take that ball and press it into my hand just to flatten it out slightly. Grab 4 marshmallows, stuff those in the middle, and then fold that dough over, and then roll into a nice little ball. I also feel like I should address why I'm wearing gloves. It's just to make it so that the dough wasn't sticking to my hand. I'm not a big fan of things sticking to my hands. Once we have it in ball form, we're just going to coat it in a little bit of sugar and then place it onto your baking sheet. So repeat that process until it's all done. These are going to be going into an oven that has been preheated to 325 degrees, and they're going to bake for 11 to 12 minutes. Now, I do recommend cooking one tray at a time. All right, the final product, here you go. Now, these are going to cool on the trays for about 15 minutes, and then we'll remove them from the tray and put them onto the wire rack to cool completely. And as you can see, the cookie is cracked. The marshmallow is showing through, except for that one on the first tray, second row on the right side. I'm a little mad about that one. And there you have it, hot chocolate cookies. They're chocolatey, they're fudgy, they're delicious, they work awesome dipped in milk. Trust me, you're gonna love them. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you on the next episode of Fat Boy Cooking. All right?